We are talking mock draft, and we got an interesting mock draft I wanted to go over. I thought it was very much intriguing because there is a trade in this mock draft, and it's not just the average trade that we've seen. It's a significant drop from where we're picking at pick 6. So we're going to go over this mock draft, the possibilities, realistically, what it could be, and what are the prospects would be available if they did this. I love it. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of a fan's perspective of the Detroit Lions and a former player like in Herman Moore, and you love Lions and everything regarding that, then you need to subscribe to this channel. Why? Because on this channel, we talk Lions 24/7. Without further ado, let's get this thing going. We're getting close to the NFL draft. I got to say, we're getting close, couple months away. Super excited about it. The possibilities of what the Lions roster could look like going into 2023, where a lot of the Lions fans, myself included, think the Lions going to win the NFC North, make the playoffs, potentially make a little bit of push. How do you do that? You acquire talent, and mock drafts gives you possibilities. Now, on a mock draft done by Draft Wire, the Detroit Lions made a significant trade in this mock draft at pick 6. So, from this bad boy, the Detroit Lions go from pick 6 to pick 16. It didn't say exactly what the Lions got other than pick 16, but with a significant drop from 6 to 16, 10 spots, we're talking next year's first-round pick, maybe even a second-round pick this year, and a couple more draft picks. So the Detroit Lions would get loaded on draft picks with a significant drop. So keep that in mind. So the Lions trade out of pick 6 with the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders get Will Levis, quarterback, out of Kentucky, and the Lions drop 10 spots. What I love about this trade, first off, it's what we get at pick 16. But secondly, you're acquiring capital. And I'm going to assume this. It doesn't say this in this article. But if you're going for 10 spots, you're going to get a first-round pick next year. You're getting pick for next year. And if you need more talent, whatever you need to do, you can move up and down the draft, just like we have the opportunity to do this year. So if something happens where you need to get another big-time player, you can with the first-round pick next year. And the Washington Commanders are a team who we all expect is not going to be a Super Bowl team. So you're probably going to get a decent draft pick. And I'm sure you would get multiple draft picks this year as well. So keep that in mind in this pick. And with pick 16, the Detroit Lions select Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois. See, folks, and this is legitimately possible. This is why I talk about the Lions should trade back from pick 6, because potentially you could get this player at pick 6 that you could at 9, 10, 11, or 12, because the talent-wise is very similar. Hell, we've seen many mock drafts, and a lot of fans out there would take Devin Witherspoon at 6. So in this scenario, the Detroit Lions trade back 10 spots and get the same player at 6 that they would get at 16, and you get more draft picks, and it's less on the cap. Pick 16 is less paying a talent prospect than pick 6. So the Detroit Lions get the player that they want, they coveted at 16. Devin Witherspoon, a dynamic cornerback, power hitter. He's a Dan Campbell type of guy. Many mock drafts and boards, he's the number 1 cornerback for this football team. Yet this BC, think we got the NFL Combine coming up this week, and next week we really get to cut to see who's CB 1, 2, and 3, since they're all in together. But it gives you an idea that if the Lions were to trade back from 6, you still get premium talent. I keep talking about the importance of the Lions trading back and the importance of one of these quarterbacks falling to pick 6. This would be huge for the Lions, and not just rebuilding as we are, but if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, They're a team that went to the Super Bowl last year, and they got premium picks. Still, they got multiple first-round picks because they know how to trade back, and they know how to build the team the correct way. That could be the Detroit Lions. We could be a team this year who competes, and then you still have 2 first-round picks next year. This is what I'm talking about. This is absolutely what I would love for the Detroit Lions to do. Now, I'm not saying we go all the way to 16. I'm not saying that. But trading back is the best option, in my opinion, unless Jalen Carter falls to pick 6. If they can trade back in a team like the Washington Commanders, who are a quarterback-needy team, it's the best-case scenario for our beloved Detroit Lions. Let me know in the comment section. Grade this trade. Again, assume it's going to be a first-round pick next year and a couple picks this year. Let me know in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. You still get the same player. You probably would take it at 6. At 16. Next pick, it's literally pick 18. So it's almost back-to-back. You got 17, and the Lions are back in the clock. And who do they take? They take Lucas Van Ness, edge rusher out of Iowa. Now, he's been rising. He has been rising. Personally, I think Lucas Van Ness is more of a later first-round pick. In my opinion, I think that's an option for the Detroit Lions if they're at the end of the first round. I don't know if I'd pick him at pick 18. I think the Lions potentially could get other prospects at pick 18 a little bit higher, but he is a edge rusher. He is a defender, and we need defense. With that said, after what Jeff Risdon said today, that the Lions are not taking an edge rusher before day 3, I don't think they would do this, but it doesn't really necessarily matter who the player is at pick 18. You probably just go BPA, whatever you want to go. But it shows the Detroit Lions being smart and building this defense. And I think that's really important. This defense was butt cheeks last year. We're talking the 32nd ranked defense. Now, it did play better in the second half of the season. Let's give credit to Aaron Glenn. Let's give credit to these young players developing, but still was butt cheeks. And so they're going in this draft to say, enough of the butt cheeks. We're going to get defense and make this defense ruthless. So you put Lucas Van Ness in the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, and you got your 1-2 combination, and obviously James Houston in there. You got a ruthless edge position. Personally, I probably will not go edge here because just like Jeff Risdon believes the depth at the edge position is pretty deep, I believe that so. I think you could go in another position or other route. Maybe you want to get a guard like Osiris Torrance, who could really solidify that. Maybe you want to go linebacker, even though Brad Holmes is not big in getting a linebacker. Either way, you're building this team, and you're getting more draft picks, and for a less cost because of the cap. So I love this mock draft. And look, you're probably going to get another second-round pick if you move back from 6 to 18. So you'd have probably 3 second-round picks, and you can move up back into the first round and still have a second-round pick. So you could have 3 first-round picks at a second round. Holy hell, that's how you build your football team. You really could. I mean, this team could be ridiculous with a trade like that, and that's why I keep saying trade back, trade back. We really gotta pray and hope quarterbacks run quick and pushes one down to the Lions at 6. Because, say, Anthony Richardson goes up there, you got C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, you're sitting at pick 6. These quarterbacks win early. Teams who have not gotten a quarterback, like the Raiders, or in this case, the Washington Commanders, or whoever, they're going to be a desperate need to get a quarterback, and that's where we take advantage. We take their draft picks and build this team depth and starter-wise to the next level. Love this mock draft. And look, I'm not a fan of the Lucas Van Ness. I think he's a definitely good player, but not at 18. You know, that's just my personal preference. Maybe you completely disagree, and that's perfectly fine. That's just me. But you have the opportunity to go up and down the rest of the draft. You have draft picks next year. This team is ridiculous. And you feel like this team could compete this year, and it would, and then you take that in nth degree next year. Again, you'd have 2 first-round picks. You can go, say you're ready to move on from Jeffrey Okudah or DeAndre Swift or whoever. You have the ability to replace them easily. Or say Jared Goff blows out. Something happens to him. He's injured. He's done for the year. He's not coming back. You have the ability then to trade up in the draft and get a quarterback. You'd have the assets. Whatever you want to do, you own the draft. You own the draft. And that's, you're just giving options to Brad Holmes to build this team and get premium talent. So I think if the Lions are sitting at pick 6 and they're not trading up, I would do whatever I could to trade out. That is me. I do not want to sit at pick 6. I think that would be maybe the worst case scenario. I think it would be. I think you could trade back and get the same guy or same talent that you want. Will it happen? It's hard to trade in the draft. We always talk about trading back, and it never generally happens. Can it happen? It all depends on that quarterback. It all depends on these needy teams. It really does. What is going to happen with Lamar Jackson? I think that's also going to affect the draft. Obviously, with Karen Rodgers, what's going to happen there? Atlanta Falcons, are they good with Desmond Ridder? These are some questions that we're going to have to find out to see if it happens. The more quarterback-needy teams, the better. But let me know in the comment section what you think about this. I think it would be great. Let me know your thoughts about the Detroit Lions trading back. Who would you want to get? And all of that. With that said, folks, adios.
Perfect.